Hi, here are my critiques for the musical Hamilton. I've watched Hamilton a couple of times now because it's one of my favorite musicals. I really love it. And every time I watch it, there's like new things that I recognize from the musical that I hadn't recognized the first time I watched it. So it's nice to go back and have an assignment where I have to analyze three scenes. So for the first scene that I chose was it's in Act One of the musical. The reason as to why I like this scene is because there's like a story between two different characters and their perspectives on the same situation, which is between Angelica and Eliza. In this scene, this is the song, this picture's from a song from the song Satisfied, where Angelica is singing from her perspective of when she first met Hamilton and how she was the one who fell in love with him first, but because her sister said that she had feelings for him, she stepped back and let her sister marry Hamilton, which is very kind of her because she had an opportunity to be with him, but chose to put her sister's happiness before hers. So from this scene, I feel like the storytelling was really good. It was very clear how she went from present time after the song Helpless to going back in time to the beginning of the song Helpless to tell her story. So the use of the lighting of the flashing lights and then having to go from present to back to past really makes it clear along with the music that was being played, Rewind. And then the dancing was also very important in this scene. It was very cool how the actors were able to replicate the dancing in backwards. So it was really cool to see how they were able to go from present again back to past using the same dance moves and going to the same places that they were before. I feel like that really helped with the storytelling between Helpless and Satisfied. And I feel like costume was also a really important part of this scene with Eliza, especially because we see her in her veil, which is supposed to show her wedding day and then before her wedding day. So I thought it was really cool how Helpless and Satisfied both had similar dance moves and lighting and costumes that were able to be replicated for the song Satisfied. Next scene I chose was from Act Two. This is a scene from the song It's Quiet Uptown. This is a really emotional song, which I really felt upset while watching. I even cried a few times. Um, the reason as to why I chose this scene is because of the lighting and costume. The lighting and costume in this scene were really important to the storyline here. This was right after their son Philip had died, and you could really see the emotion in their acting once they move uptown after their son had passed away. Everybody in this scene had like I don't know if everybody in the scene, but there's a few important characters who wore black, which shows that they're grieving and mourning for their recent loss. So the costume really plays a really important part in in showing how these characters are very upset. Also, the lighting is very dark and blue, which shows how this is supposed to be a sad scene rather than using bright and colorful lights. It doesn't really show it in this image, but during this scene, they're also dancing, but the dancing is very slow. So it really shows how this is supposed to be an upsetting scene and sad, and there isn't much energy going on here, just to show that they are grieving along with Angelica. The music is also very mellow and slow. It's not very fast or happy music. So the storyline here gets well really across. I really enjoyed how they were able to use lighting and costume and dance all together to make it clear that this is a sad scene in the musical. The last scene that I chose was from Act Two. I don't remember the song name of this scene, but this is between Hamilton um passes away. This is the duel between Hamilton and Burr. In this scene, it was very I feel like the storytelling and dancing was very important in this scene. Right here, I chose it specifically because it looks like the dancers here are trying to pull back the bullet from before hitting Hamilton. I feel like this is another representation of him wanting more time and him and like it's not happening. It's like inevitable at this point. Like it's going to happen. And the actors up here, the storytelling up here is very like I don't know how to say it, but very important, I guess, because it shows important characters in Hamilton's life who have impacted him in a very large way, and how them being up here shows how he's soon gonna be up here because these are characters that have passed away, which is Lawrence, his son, his mom, and George Washington. So them showing how Hamilton is about to join them and him looking up at them is very important in their placements in the story. And then this was also a scene where everything is flashing before Hamilton's eyes, like he knows he's about to die. And right here showing that Aaron Burr is not moving at Frozen, it shows how for him time is stopped, but for everybody else, time's still going. And then so what I would say is very important in this scene is the lighting pointing at each crucial person that impacted his life, and then the dancing again was very important pulling the trying to pull the bullet back before hitting Hamilton, giving him more time that he wanted, was very well portrayed in this scene. And I feel like it really showed who Hamilton in the end was, like who his character was and the development that he had throughout the story. And yeah. So thank you for listening, and I really enjoyed watching Hamilton. Thank you.